Ryan's voice was cold, his jaw set. Yet there he was, standing in a tuxedo, gripping the trembling hands of Amelia Harper, the ugly daughter of a billionaire tycoon. Amelia's eyes sparkled, not with joy, but with unshed tears she refused to let fall. She smiled faintly, even as her heart shattered, because this marriage wasn't about love. It was about survival. Behind the camera flashes and applause, Ryan thought about the deal he made with Amelia's father. "Marry her, and your family's debts are gone," the man had said. Desperate, Ryan agreed, thinking he could endure anything for his freedom. Little did he know this decision would ruin him, and then reshape his world. As they walked out of the Grand Cathedral, Ryan held Amelia's hand like it was an obligation. The whispers began almost immediately. "Why would someone like him marry her?" one guest sneered. "She's loaded, that's why," another chuckled. Amelia heard it all, but her chin remained high. Ryan didn't even try to defend her. If anything, he seemed embarrassed by her. But as they reached the limousine, Amelia leaned close, her voice like a dagger. "Enjoy the ride, Ryan. This is the last time you'll see me as weak." The limo ride to the reception was excruciatingly quiet. Ryan stared out the window, while Amelia sat with her hands folded neatly, staring at him. "You can drop the act," Ryan finally snapped, unable to take her calm demeanor anymore. Amelia tilted her head, a faint smirk forming. "What act, darling? You think I'm not aware of why you're here? You're a pawn, Ryan. And pawns are disposable." Her tone sent a chill down his spine. This wasn't the timid girl he thought he was marrying. At the reception, Ryan barely looked at Amelia. He danced with other women, laughed with his friends, and left her sitting alone at the table. But Amelia's father noticed. "Ryan, a word," Mr. Harper said, gripping his shoulder tightly. The older man's eyes were cold. "You're embarrassing her. Keep this up, and our deal is off." Ryan reluctantly returned to Amelia. "Let's dance," he said through gritted teeth. "Only because you were ordered to," Amelia replied, standing and placing her hand on his shoulder. Her words stung, but Ryan couldn't admit why. Unknown to Ryan, Amelia had a plan. She had spent her entire life being ridiculed and underestimated. But now she had wealth, power, and her father's backing. "Enjoy your freedom, Ryan," she whispered to herself that night as he ignored her in their lavish hotel suite. "Because tomorrow the game begins." Ryan woke up to an empty room. Amelia was gone. On the bedside table was a note. "You wanted a deal, not a wife. So, I'll make sure you get what you deserve." Confused and angry, Ryan didn't know what to do. What was she planning? Back at their mansion, Amelia had already started transforming herself. She hired a team of stylists, fitness trainers, and speech coaches. She wanted to become unrecognizable, not just in appearance, but in confidence and power. When Ryan returned home later that day, he found the house buzzing with activity. "What's going on?" he demanded. Amelia, wearing a sleek designer dress, walked down the staircase like a queen. "Oh, nothing, darling. Just preparing for my new life. Don't worry, you're still part of it." For now, Amelia began accompanying Ryan to social events, where she made it her mission to outshine him. Every time someone whispered about her appearance, she silenced them with her wit or charm. Ryan was losing control of the narrative. People began to admire Amelia, questioning why she was with someone like him. One night, Ryan found a folder hidden in Amelia's study. Inside were documents about his family's financial mismanagement, proof she was digging into his secrets. "What is this?" he yelled, confronting her. Amelia smiled, sipping her wine. "Insurance. You think you can humiliate me and walk away unscathed? Think again." Amelia's transformation wasn't just external. She had also uncovered a secret about Ryan's past, a scandal that could ruin him. But she wasn't ready to play that card yet. "Why are you doing this?" Ryan asked one night, genuinely confused by her growing power and confidence. "Because I can," Amelia replied. Ryan's world began crumbling slowly. Amelia's newfound confidence intimidated him, but what unsettled him more was her ability to charm everyone around her. At a charity gala, Amelia stole the spotlight with a powerful speech about resilience and rising above ridicule. The audience gave her a standing ovation. As Ryan watched her from the sidelines, he clenched his fists. He hated that she was becoming someone people admired, while he remained in her shadow. But for the first time, he also felt a strange pull toward her. "Don't think for a second I've forgiven you," Amelia whispered into Ryan's ear during a slow dance at another public event. "You'll pay for every insult, every ounce of humiliation I endured." Ryan smirked, though unease flickered in his eyes. "Careful, Amelia. You're playing with fire." Her gaze was cold, unflinching. "Funny. I was thinking the same about you." One evening, Amelia received a visitor, a woman from Ryan's past. She brought evidence of an old affair Ryan had kept hidden, one that ended in scandal and heartbreak for the woman involved. "Why are you showing me this?" Amelia asked. "Because he ruined my life, and I want him to know what it feels like," the woman replied. Amelia took the documents with a determined smile. "Leave it to me." At a high-profile business event, Amelia revealed the affair in the most humiliating way possible, by casually letting it slip during a toast. The room went silent. Ryan's face turned pale, and the whispers began immediately. "You think this is a game?" he growled later that night, confronting her in their bedroom. Amelia's eyes burned with fury. "You humiliated me every chance you got, Ryan. Now it's your turn to feel small." Ryan's carefully crafted image as a businessman and a man of integrity was shattered. He started losing clients, and his reputation took a nosedive. Meanwhile, Amelia's influence grew. She became a symbol of empowerment, adored by the public for her strength and transformation. Ryan felt the walls closing in, and for the first time, he realized he had underestimated her. Late one night, Ryan found Amelia in the garden, staring at the stars. She looked almost fragile. "Why are you doing all of this?" he asked, his voice softer than usual. Amelia didn't look at him. "You wouldn't understand. People like you never do." "Try me," he said. She finally turned to him, tears glistening in her eyes. "Because I've spent my whole life being told I wasn't enough. Not pretty enough, not smart enough, not worthy. And you were the final straw. But now, I'm taking control of my life, even if it destroys you." For a brief moment, Ryan felt something he hadn't expected: guilt. Despite her growing power, Amelia found herself haunted by the emptiness in her heart. Her revenge was fulfilling, but it wasn't healing the scars inside her. Ryan, on the other hand, began to change. The more he saw Amelia's strength, the more he questioned his own choices. He started treating her with a level of respect he hadn't shown before. But Amelia wasn't ready to forgive. Ryan's younger brother, Alex, visited the mansion one evening. He was furious with Ryan for how he had treated Amelia. "You don't deserve her," Alex said bluntly. Ryan's jaw tightened. "This isn't your business." "Actually, it is," Alex replied. "Because for the first time, she's finally happy. And you're ruining it." Ryan didn't respond, but Alex's words struck a nerve. Ryan reached his lowest point when his father, once proud of his achievements, disowned him publicly. "You've disgraced this family," the older man spat. Alone and humiliated, Ryan began to reflect on the choices that had led him there. For the first time, he wondered if he could make amends. Ryan approached Amelia one morning, uncharacteristically vulnerable. "I know I've hurt you, and I know I don't deserve your forgiveness. But I'm sorry." Amelia studied him for a long moment. "Sorry won't fix what you've done, Ryan." "I know," he said, "but I want to be better. Not for you, for me." His sincerity surprised her, but she wasn't ready to let her guard down. Just as Ryan began trying to rebuild his life, a major scandal broke, this time about Amelia's father. Accusations of corruption threatened to destroy the Harper family empire. Amelia was blindsided. For the first time, she was the one in need of help. To Amelia's shock, Ryan defended her family publicly, using what little influence he had left. "I made a promise to protect you," he said when she confronted him about it. "And for once, I intend to keep it." Amelia didn't know how to respond. With no one else to turn to, Amelia reluctantly worked with Ryan to repair her father's reputation. Through late nights and countless arguments, they began to understand each other in ways they never had before. Their partnership turned into an unexpected friendship. Ryan saw the vulnerable side of Amelia, and she began to notice the genuine effort he was making to change. But could they ever truly trust each other? One night, after weeks of working together, Ryan confessed his feelings. "I don't deserve you, Amelia, but I love you. I think I always have." Amelia's heart raced. She wanted to believe him, but the scars of the past were hard to ignore. When another scandal threatened to tear them apart, Ryan stood by Amelia's side, proving his loyalty. For the first time, she began to see him as someone she could rely on. In a heartfelt conversation, Amelia finally let go of her anger. "I forgive you, Ryan, but forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting." "I don't want you to forget," Ryan replied. "I just want to earn your trust." Together, they rebuilt their lives not as the enemies they once were, but as equals. Amelia's transformation was complete, not because of her appearance, but because she had learned to value herself. Ryan redeemed himself by becoming a better man, not just for Amelia, but for himself. He worked to right his wrongs and earn the respect of those he had hurt. Their journey wasn't perfect, but it was real. They learned to love and respect each other, not because of a deal or obligation, but because they had grown together. As Amelia stood beside Ryan at another event, she smiled genuinely for the first time. This was her victory, not just over him, but over the doubts and insecurities that had once controlled her life.